with a little extra. Uncensored, unedited, and almost uninterrupted. Get ready for the most extra podcast known to man. The Ace and TJ Show presents the Extra Funny Podcast.
I didn't read this whole story, but I saw this morning that a lady was following her GPS and ended up driving into the ocean. How do you? I mean, I get it.
Episode of The Office.
I get it if it takes you somewhere and it's not exactly the right area and all, and you don't figure it out until you've gone way too far or whatever. But surely, if you are following GPS directions and you see that there's, if you didn't see it even before you got to right in front of the water, say, you're trying to find Applebee's, okay, and you're driving and then all of a sudden you see, oh, well, look, this is Oceanside here. And then it tells you to take a right, and you take a right and okay, well, I'm heading to the beach. You could stop it there.
Same thing. I've never understood when they say that people drive into a lake. Well, when it tells you to make a left and there's a lake there, don't do it.
It's like, does that person really need to be driving?
And you guys talk about me. I've never driven into a lake.
Yeah, I don't even think you would do that,
No.
Alexis.
I've never done that.
I've never done that. I'm a good driver.
What a great compliment, though. I don't even think you would drive into the ocean.
I'll take it.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you've ever said.
I think it's sweet.
Well, with you guys, yeah, it's considered nice.
Take it where you can get it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the smell wouldn't even alert you that you're in the wrong place if you're looking for Applebee's. You start smelling the ocean breeze, and the seawater, the salt.
It doesn't feel right, but I'm going to trust my phone.
I gotta follow.
Like, no, it's telling me I have to.
Huh.
That's like Michael Scott, though, from The Office. He did that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He's like,
Drove
no,
right
the
into the
GPS
water.
is telling me. And Dwight's like, no, you can't drive into the water.
Oh, there was some.
Yeah.
But as much as I trust that Google Maps is the best of any of those, GPS things on the phone, even I would stop and say, okay, well, obviously for, once out of every 1,000 times, Google Maps is not right.
Yeah.
Because if you try to argue with me about Google Maps, just don't waste your breath. Don't waste it. And if I see somebody who uses the one that comes with the Apple products, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, you might as well just give me some apple cobbler with a dollop of Cool Whip on top of it instead of homemade whipped cream.
It's scary.
Oh, it's like, what is wrong with you? And you use this all the time, and you get to where you're supposed to be going? Well, you're lucky. Have they fixed any of that? Because it was really, really bad. And have they upgraded the Apple GPS?
Yeah, I use it.
I use it all the time. I've
Amanda
never had
uses
issues
it, and
with
she's
it.
never had a problem with it either. She uses it all the time.
Yeah. I like Waze, though, because it has the little cartoons and stuff. Those
Right.
those
Women
are
like
cute.
Waze better because it
is
talks
it-
more and all that.
Isn't Waze owned by Google? Like Waze
Yeah.
and Google Maps are pretty much the same thing. They just have different
Right.
characters and all.
I think Waze is using Google Maps on their app.
Yeah, but sometimes it's different. It's not exactly the same.
Okay.
Because I know this because my wife, if I put, the destination into my phone and I'm always on Google Maps, she will put it in Waze to see if she can find something better. And sometimes it's not the exact same.
Really?
Well, I usually will put both the Apple Maps and Waze on at the same time.
Oh my God.
Why?
Yeah, because that's how stressed I get about making sure I do not get lost.
Your battery's
in
dead
driving.
every time.
Look at me, and I'm always checking both. Like I'm going from back and forth, back and
Or
forth.
maybe you should just check one and focus on driving. That's
I really don't think, no matter what Apple has done to upgrade that thing and whatever, I just don't think I could do it.
I haven't opened it up since I got an iPhone.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to use the Apple Maps thing.
Well, I think Apple has sabotaged my Google Maps because every once in a while it just freezes completely.
yeah. I just like the way the Google Maps looks, and I think it gives you more detailed information.
Yeah, and it's never guided anyone off of a cliff that I know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because didn't they say that Apple Maps did that again? All right, so you keep climbing and the road's running out, but you're going to still keep driving over the cliff?
Says it should be right past this cliff.
There's been times when on my maps, I'm like, where is this taking me? Like, it just seems like a sketch area. And I'm like, did someone take over my phone and they're like guiding me into somewhere and like, they're going to kill me?
That happens a
hacker.
lot. That happens a lot.
I'm sure it probably does.
They're in the mainframe.
But aren't you always in sketch areas?
Shut up.
I mean, I could have sworn on more than one occasion I've seen you in the background of the show, the first 48.
Yeah, okay.
Like just, walking into a store or something as they're getting footage. No?
No.
Okay. A little gangster. Ew. Apple Maps.
Yeah.
But any other thing that somebody tries to use that's not Apple, I'm like, I don't even want that in my phone. Like, don't text me if it's not, if it's not coming from an iPhone.
Is MapQuest still a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that an app you can get?
I don't know. I always go in just to like Alexis to play it safe, and I will print out MapQuest directions.
Tack them up.
See, that was something that people didn't have a problem with you reading while you were driving. You can't read anything from your phone, but you can sit there and read directions or a map while you're driving. Nobody thought anything about that.
My dad was like a traveling salesman, and he pulled the map out. He would pull a map out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's how he navigated things. And it's like, I don't even know how you read a map, like with scales and stuff. I don't know, but
But I think that's probably a really useful skill to have because what if something does happen? I think about this all the time, especially when I was like driving to Virginia a lot. I was like, what if my phone dies? What if like something happens and I don't know how to get anywhere? I'm literally going to be stuck. If you can read a map, at least you can get yourself somewhere.
And I'll tell you what is a good chance of happening. The more and more they push all these electric cars and electric stoves and all of this crap with the made-up climate change Marxism, our electrical grid is not going to be able to handle all this stuff. So everybody's charging their cars and they're using nothing but electricity. You may not be able to charge your phone.
Mm-hmm. What if we
because they're going to have to start.
See in all the zombie shows is them using maps to get places because cell phones don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do when the zombies come?
Oh, I'm gonna die.
I'm dead immediately.
Yeah, I'm dead pretty quick. But no, this is like why you're not gonna have a calculator, so you better learn how to do math. That turned out to be bullshit, wasn't it?
Well, that part, yes.
Ain't gonna be no
think it's the same
calculators neither. Once they use up all the grid,
No calculator. They're solar powered.
they're gonna take the sun.
What about perpetual motion?
I'm telling you, Biden and all of them, they coming for everything.
But there ain't nothing wrong with being able to do regular math.
Yeah, but it's not like the teachers would always say, "You're not going to carry a calculator around, are you?" It's like, no, you're right. I'm going to carry a calculator plus all of human knowledge available, like that and some.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So you want to just rely on technology?
I don't think it makes sense to learn about like archaic things like that.
Like math?
No, like maps.
Latin?
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm it sounds like I'm joking. I am exaggerating, y'all, but that is going to be a threat of losing our access to electricity whenever we want it.
Electric cars.
Yeah, cars. They're taking away gas stoves. They're doing all this other stuff in order to control our lives. And our electrical grid is not made for all that. It can't hold it all. Electric lawnmowers, just basically trying to do away with the gas-powered engine in the name of climate change or environmentalism. So, yeah.
This is what Jason Momoa wanted Aquaman 2 to be about.
I know, he did. Oh, bless. Bless his heart.
I mean, I just don't want to learn how to do maps. It sounds like it sucks.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are the map people called? They're called
Cartographers.
Cartographers. I wonder. Yeah, do they still have jobs?
Few and far between.
Yeah, I
bet
can't
there's not a
imagine
whole
they
lot
have
of
many of 'em.
cartographers.
They're the ones that draw the maps? You mean?
Yeah, make the maps.
They make the map.
Yeah, you don't really have no use for an atlas in your car anymore. Any of that stuff.
Damn, Dora's friend's obsolete.
Yep.
Cigarette lighters, maps.
Yeah, the other day.
A lot of dumb shit that we got rid of.
I was just thinking about that because I was looking for a lighter and we were in a rental car and I'm like, do you think this car has one of those lighter things? And it's like, no. But I was like, I haven't thought about that in so long. I'm like, when did they stop making that?
Man, that's how you.
We can't smoke a bowl with that thing. I don't think.
That's how you could tell if somebody was really a serious cigarette smoker, is if they use that lighter in the car.
Yeah.
They push you push it in, and then when it gets hot, those coils heat up, it pops out to let you know it's ready, and you take it. And once you stick it the first time to a cigarette, then the cigarette leaves residue on the little coils on there. And if you looked at that thing from then on, you could tell that somebody had been using it, and it would stink. It was
But
just nasty.
it never had an actual flame. It just got hot. That's how it would
was
light
just
it.
like a really hot coil inside of it, but it would burn if you touched it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Whew, you
could
thought it
feel
was
the
cooled off because
Yeah.
it wasn't red anymore. You can't do that because it would still be. It'd be hot forever.
And then they made it so you could use like little electric chargers by plugging them into the cigarette lighter. And I think the first phone chargers in cars would plug into cigarette lighters.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, my dad would reach over and tap that button, while he's driving with his knee, pulling a cigarette out of his pocket with his left hand, hitting that button with his right hand, getting that thing heated up, ready to go, boy.
Yeah, that was a cool thing from y'all's time that I wish we could bring back.
And then there
What,
was a
cigarette lighters in the car.
Yeah.
and then there was another way to really tell if somebody was a serious cigarette smoker is if they used the car's ashtray. If you got in their car and they had cigarette butts in that ashtray, or when they got their car washed, they had to empty all the cigarette butts and ashes out of that, you're like, ugh. Because, if you're just a regular smoker, then you would flick it out the window, the ashes out of the cracked window. And you would have your flame lighter there out so you could use it. But somebody using the cigarette lighter in the car or the ashtray.
And you had to pull it out and dump it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's for change.
Yeah, my mom has a portable ashtray. That's like fits in the cup holder because because new cars don't have them.
Yeah, Ronco started those. I think Ronco invented the cup holder ashtray, and it had I think it had a little vacuum on it, so it would vacuum the smoke down into the thing, so it wouldn't be filling up the car.
She's got one now?
Yeah,
So the cigarette and the entire cigarette butt goes in it?
it can. Yeah,
Really?
she just has to dump it out when she's done. It's got like a little, it's like a funnel type situation where you can ash it and it just falls in the center of it.
Yeah, I mean you got to adapt. This technology takes away all the good shit.
Yeah.
You gonna take away my ashtray in the car? Not today.
I will adapt.
Not to vaping, but Mama don't vape.
But if I got into somebody's car and they had all that going on, it would always smell like the ashtray. So you said your mom takes hers out whenever she's finished. She doesn't leave it in there with it. But if it's got that cap on it, it's not. It's probably not smelling it up in the car like it would in the regular ashtray.
It still does.
It does.
Yeah.
She cracked the window when she's smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever, like, if I ever go anywhere with her, she goes, "Let's take my car so I can smoke." because she knows I'm not gonna let her smoke in my car.
Hell yeah.
But by the time you get home, you'll smell like you were smoking.
It's the Ace and TJ Show with a little something extra. This is the Extra Funny Podcast. More next. It's the Ace and TJ Show with a little extra. More of the Extra Funny Podcast in 3 minutes.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
Katie, the latest and greatest sofas and sectionals at Sweet Dreams are so bootylicious.
Wait a second. Did you seriously just say bootylicious?
Yep, that's right. It's our duty to please your booty.
At Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture, your bottom is our top priority. That's why we only carry the most comfortable furniture from only the best brands. Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture.
Sounds like a bootylicious deal to me.
Putting the X in extra. This is the Extra Funny Podcast from the Ace and TJ Show.
The TJ and Jody's House podcast is sponsored by Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Whether you're looking for furniture for the bedroom, mattresses, box springs, or the living room, Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture has it. Go to acetj.com/mattress. Sounds like a sweet deal to me.
Shh! There's a secret to saving on car insurance. Use the power of AIS. AIS shops dozens of companies instantly. AIS does all the work, and you get great coverage at a great price.
Whether you're looking to just have a good time with friends or make some lifetime memories with your significant other or your family, no place has more to offer than Gaston County. Find out about all the incredible opportunities in Gaston County right now at acetj.com/Gaston.
More than just a little funny. This is Extra Funny. This is the Ace and TJ Show's Extra Funny Podcast. More than just a little funny. More than just average funny. This is Extra Funny. It's the Extra Funny Podcast from the Ace and TJ Show.
I know this is not, well, I don't know. I say I know it's not funny, but I guess I know it's, maybe a lot of people would think you shouldn't laugh at this. But have y'all seen the lady who woke up from having her boob job to find that her nipples weren't put back on properly?
No.
She said, waking up from my boob job only to find that my nip piercings were now vertical instead of horizontal.
They took off the nipple with the piercing in it still?
Well, she said, let's see. It was just the piercing holes, but imagine my surprise. Yeah, because obviously they would make you take them out before they do a boob job on them.
What do you care, though? I mean, what's the...
I guess they won't hang right, all of her nipple piercings. If she's got hoops,
And
they're going to be off to the side. If she's got the little bar things, they'll be going up and down.
Yeah, and they can't pierce them again, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Because there's already holes in them?
I guess.
The doctor later clarified the rotation is intentional to preserve blood flow and nerves. It's necessary in some patients. It's not a whoopsie.
Okay.
But that's what she was worried about when she woke up from having her boobs done. Oh my God, my nipple piercings are messed up.
They're counterclockwise.
I mean, I could kind of see that. You know, if something happened and my nipples turned around the other way and my piercings didn't look right.
I mean, Alexa said her nose piercing will close up in an hour. You know, if she doesn't have it inside, I bet the nipple is probably the same thing.
Oh, way faster, yeah.
Ace, did yours close up?
My earrings?
No, your nipple rings.
No.
When you took them out for the photo shoot the
Closed
other day.
right up.
What'd you think
Immediately.
about nipple rings on guys, Alexis?
Don't like, not a fan.
You know?
Nope.
Does it make it better if they did it themselves, like my brother did?
No, that makes it worse.
Did we know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used like a safety pin.
And pierced his nipples?
Yeah. He regretted it immediately, but he did it.
He did both of them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then like a couple days later, believe it or not, it got infected.
Yeah, so technically he didn't regret it immediately.
Well, that's true.
Or
You're right.
He wouldn't have done the second one.
When I talked to my the lady that cut my hair at the time into waxing the back of my neck instead of shaving it, I regretted it immediately when she did the first side and I didn't do the second one. Maybe the second one will be better. How old was he?
He was in his 20s.
And just decided one day, like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And does he still have them?
I know. He was done with them like a couple days later.
Oh, really?
It started hurting.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
And your nipples get infected.
That is nuts.
With a safety pin. How big was the safety pin?
It wasn't that big. It was a very tiny. Maybe he may have used safety pins as the piercings.
That's what I was wondering. Was it two safety pins hanging from his chest?
I think so. I think it may have been
from his middies.
That's like something a juggalo does, you know? Like,
oddly enough, he did listen to the Insane Clown Posse at the time.
really? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Did he numb them with ice?
I don't think he did. I think he went straight in.
Oh. Because I've heard people that have done that before, and it's in the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg, and they pierce his nipple by numbing it with ice, and Jennifer Aniston pushes the needle through it.
So, is that a walk away, Alexis? If a guy's trying to date you, he's got nipple rings.
Yeah, he already has them. Yeah, I'm not going on a second date because I mean you'll be able to see them through the shirt.
What if you're with him?
And
What if you have gone out a few times and then one day he just shows up and he's got like, look what I did last night.
Turn off. It's a huge turn off.
Dumping him at that point.
Or take him out.
Cuomo at the press conference wearing that white polo shirt, and you could see his nipple rings through it.
60s, isn't he? I mean,
And he had hoops. Looked like hoops.
so
The governor.
weird.
The governor's got hoop nipple rings.
Hey, he couldn't take him out and heal up. What is he supposed to do?
And what's that? Well, never mind.
What is the attraction to
What's
it?
the point of that? I mean,
I guess they think it looks good.
Yeah, my brother was a pretty impulsive guy at the time.
Yeah, I don't think it adds any type of stimulation or anything. You know, when it comes to that, because contrary to most women's beliefs, men have nipples too,
yeah.
and they would like a little attention every now and then.
Oh God.
So pierce me.
Ew.
Disagree.
Yeah, I don't.
Pierce me.
No, I don't get it. Would you rather date a guy, Alexis, with nipple rings or gauges?
Gauges.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cages
Yeah.
smell bad, don't they?
I just won't smell his earlobes. Yeah.
Would you insist that he always have his gauges in, so you don't have to look at it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would bother me that much if you took it out. I'd be like, oh, let me try to throw something through your hoops.
I can't even look at gauges when they have the gauges in there that you can see through. Oh, no. Like I can maybe look at them easier if they're the all black ones that you can't see through the other side on, because it doesn't look like a hole. It just looks like something black stuck in their ear. Yeah. But if they've got gauges and they got the big holes, and I can't look at that. It makes me queasy.
Yeah.
Now, I do think those guys are really, a straight guy can say when another guy looks good, so I don't have any problem with telling you that I think it's very, very handsome when a guy has those metal spikes inserted into his head, implanted in his head. I love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
And if I were young enough and in good enough shape to pull that off, I'd be doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then get one completely black eye. Have you ever seen that? I can't look at that either, where they get their eyeball completely black.
Oh, like when they tattoo it?
Yeah. There was a guy accused of buying body parts the other day online, and that's he had that whole spikes implanted into his head and his face, and his, tattoos covering him, and the gauges, and the. I think half of his face was tattooed, like a solid tattoo.
I mean,
he was accused of buying body parts from some lady in Arkansas.
Buying body parts?
Yeah. She worked at the morgue.
Well.
And they say she was selling. Like, she just went on, anybody interested in buying a brain, human brain? And he's like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll take all that.
Donna, we got a question for you. Have you been selling body parts out the morgue?
Yeah, they had to do, full sting operation. Find out what was going on. Some crazy ass people. What's wrong with them?
I'm in the market for a brain.
Yeah. A screen name Scarecrow.
Yikes.
Funnier than your average podcast. This is the Extra Funny Podcast, presented by Neogenics. Find out more about Neogenics at acetj.com/Neogenics. More Extra Funny podcasts next. It's the Ace and TJ Show with a little extra. More of the Extra Funny Podcast in 3 minutes.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
A lot of people don't like tax season, but me, I love it.
You love tax season?
Yeah, we get to pay our customer sales tax. What's not to love about that?
I don't think you fully understand what tax season really is, but that's okay. I actually like your version much better.
So for the entire month of April, when you make any purchase at Sweet Dreams, we'll pay your sales tax.
Mattresses, recliners, sofas?
You name it, it's all tax-free all month at Sweet Dreams.
Oh, sounds like a sweet deal to me.
Putting the X in extra. This is the Extra Funny Podcast from the Ace and TJ Show.
Hey, it's Ace, and on this edition of Ace at Large, we are traveling. This is my son, Cade. We are on our way to the Daytona 500.
Hey, quick reminder. Inhale, exhale.
So here we are.
Thank you, sir. Let's go.
Here we are getting told to get off the track. Strap in. We're going to the Daytona 500.
The TJ and Jody's House podcast is sponsored by Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Whether you're looking for furniture for the bedroom, mattresses, box springs, or the living room, Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture has it. Go to acetj.com/mattress. Sounds like a sweet deal to me.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Gina, along with spokesman Rob. So, Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions, and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You heard it, folks at home. Pick up the phone, call now.
Whether you're looking to just have a good time with friends or make some lifetime memories with your significant other or your family, no place has more to offer than Gaston County. Find out about all the incredible opportunities in Gaston County right now at acetj.com/Gaston.
More than just a little funny. This is extra funny. This is the Ace and TJ Show's Extra Funny Podcast. Wherever you want, this is Ace and TJ's Extra Funny Podcast.
All right, let me ask y'all something. Do you think this is a double standard? First of all, y'all know I don't think much of celebrities. I think most of them are just overly dramatic clowns. But this trend of, now that there are so many podcasts out there and these celebrities being guests on podcasts and all, this trend that celebrity women going into graphic detail about their sex lives and stuff. Like Gwyneth Paltrow, they asked her who was a better lover out of Ben Affleck and Brad Pitt, because she's been with both of them. She goes into an explanation about it. First of all, it wasn't that long ago where somebody would have said, well, that's completely inappropriate to ask Gwyneth Paltrow.
Sure.
And then, the celebrity would have said, I'm not answering that. But it's fine. Ben Affleck was technically perfection or whatever she said. Then I saw another one in the same day. This Rachel Bilson was on some podcast and going into detail saying how she likes to be manhandled.
Ooh.
I like to be manhandled. And going into detail about it. And of course, that's celebrated. It's all over, every news, entertainment news outlet picks it up and runs with it. Could celebrity men get away with the same thing? Well, first of all, the interviewer being a man, if he's a straight man and he asks about these women's sex lives,
that's inappropriate.
That's not going to be right.
That's not cool.
That'll be a double standard. And what if the guy celebrity started talking about how good Gwyneth Paltrow is in bed, and compared to Jennifer Aniston that he's been with, and all of these, like, name two big A-list celebrities that he's hammered, and he starts talking about it in detail. Is he going to be celebrated, or is he going to be like shocking?
Yeah, it would be terrible.
Remember, John Mayer did that. He called Jessica Simpson sexual napalm.
Yeah.
And then he talked about Jennifer Aniston. And he was like canceled for, a couple of years, like scumbag, dirtbag, jerk. But, he bounced back. Mm-hmm. And he did the mea culpa. He said, that was dumb for me to talk about. Yeah, he was wild like that.
Yeah, it's just like the difference between a woman having to empty her carry-on bag and then there being a delicious device in there, and if there were a masturbation device in a man's carry-on luggage,
Yeah.
But why they got to talk about it all the time? Like they say that's one of the big complaints people are having now about the, Kelly and Mark Consuelos, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, is that they're constantly talking about their sex life and all that. And I wonder if he's doing it or she's leading those conversations.
Well,
I know she talks about how they tell the kids, y'all are going to have to go.
Yeah.
Because we got to go handle business and whatever.
I'm sure she's leading it because by now I think she probably leads everything on that show.
Yeah, but I mean, otherwise though, if the two
Still
of them
her,
are
yeah.
anywhere else, I don't see him bringing up. Yeah, last night I took her in manhandled her in the bedroom and whatever.
I heard her say one of the most vulgar things in front of him. It was like a marry, shag, kill kind of thing, and he was like, they gave her the 3 guys. She's like, I'll kill him, and then can we do like a DP situation? I was like, Kelly Ripa. Yeah, I mean, it was like vulgar. That was on national television.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. A guy celebrity wouldn't get away with that.
Hell no. But, they'll say there's a stigma around talking about sex, and the fact that you can talk about it openly means that, it's healthy, it's positive, unless it's a guy.
Right,
Then you're just
exactly.
dirty
It's
ass-
healthy,
you're
positive
dirty ass
for
pervert.
women. Yeah, don't judge a woman. But a dirty, horny man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear about anybody's specific. Like if I know the 2 people, I don't want to hear about their specific encounters and stuff. I never have. And most, men won't do that. They say that men talk about sex all the time, and so when you say that women talk about it all the time, well, men are, but it's that different way. Is that women will talk about sex with specific people to their friends. Like my husband does this and this, but he doesn't do this, and or that guy. Yeah, when we were dating, he would do da. Men just talk about sex in general. Like unless he's kind of crazy and off-putting, you're not going to hear a man say, yeah, I had my wife in there last night. It was our night. And so I decided I was going to spin her and twist her and, whatever else. Yeah. And then she started telling me in the middle of it, she started saying this and this. Guys don't do that.
Men will talk about women in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look how great she looks, certain body parts, that kind of stuff. But they don't share with their friends like, so last night, here's what we were doing. Now they will tell you about somebody they're not dating or they're just like they're hanging out with, but not anybody that's important to them.
I'm not going to be talking about what goes on in the bedroom with any of my friends or anybody because I don't want them.
Right, you don't want them to start wanting that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want them snaking you when you're not around.
Be like, oh, I wonder what that's like. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You better stop.
Yup.
In other words, you don't want to give them any ideas.
Mm-mm.
All right.
And I think guys are kind of like that. No, guys just have too much respect. If they're really in a serious relationship that they love the person, they don't want to talk about them that way. You don't want to have the image of her in somebody's mind of, in that type of situation.
I generally I agree with you, but there are some situations where I want to know, like what's doing.
Like Robin.
Yeah, but you're more of like curiosity. I think that the way you're looking at it is different.
No, it's not. I want to know. But it's very specific. Like, I don't know.
What do you mean it's very specific?
I just want to know what's happening. I like it, yeah. But I generally agree. Most people, I wouldn't want to know the intimate details of their relationship.
Oh, you mean the people you want to know about are very specific, not just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to know. I want to know.
Because you've always said you want to know more about what happens with Robin Meredith.
Yeah, I want to know what turns him on. Is that so weird?
What turns you on, Rob? What is it?
Open up to me. Tell me. Let me know. I don't know why.
I bet Rob keeps a full-on freak journal.
Freak journal?
Hang on, before I go to bed, I got to write in my freak journal.
Woo.
Dear freak journal.
The thoughts I had today. About the woman working the drive-thru.
Is that a thing, a freak journal?
I just made it up.
Yeah, I like that.
Dear freak diary.
Dear Freak Diary.
Today? That would be crazy if somebody had that.
Especially if it's Rob.
Yeah. Hell yeah. A little pen. What was that?
That's what I'm saying. It would be so surprising.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you just found out he was into something like, even if it was normal, you'd be like, wow, that's fascinating. Because I like some weird stuff too, but not, not anything I'm ready to talk about on a radio show, but.
And nothing to put in a freak journal.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, why don't you let us decide?
Why don't you tell us the stuff?
And let us be the judges of whether that belongs in a freak journal or not.
We should have a freak journal, and then we all add our own entries anonymously, and then we have to decide whose entry
is what?
Yeah, like the craziest, freakiest thing that you can think of.
No, I don't want to do
don't wanna
that.
do that.
Sorry, guys, but I'd rather not know what you guys are into.
It's guys only. You
Good.
can leave the room.
I'm glad.
You're out of the
It's
freak
one thing
journal.
I'm thankful to be left out of.
The Freak Journal Book Club.
You men can have your own Freak Journal book club together.
We will. I'll start it.
Would it be that hard to figure out who it was?
Maybe.
Because, it
might be more
if
difficult.
it starts with, well, there I was sitting on the puffy couch.
Well, then it wouldn't be so anonymous. I mean,
one day I was unboxing some Funko Pops. And it's like, okay.
Or, I had just zipped up my Velcro suit and was ready to be stuck to the wall.
Yeah. That'd be nuts.
I just finished the Paul Stanley makeup.
Yeah.
The star on my eye was perfect.
Star Child is here.
In the mirror and turn myself on.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to know about all that.
Once we finally got the dogs to quit eating cat poop, we knew it was our time.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's that, I wonder?
After I ordered room service in my robe and the hot tub was turned on.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That'd be the end of the entry. Back in the robe for some room service.
Yeah.
RRS. Time for a little RRS. Robes and room service. We got to get on that. Get some robes.
It's the Ace and TJ Show with a little something extra. This is the Extra Funny Podcast.